Hello, am I live? I think so. How you doing, guys? Oscar Capel here on my usual Tuesday spot, but today I'm not going to be talking about identity theft, legal services, and all this stuff that we know we need and if you're not in the Mamaroneck or New York area, you don't know that we got hit with Hurricane Ida about, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 24 days ago. And we're still fighting the fight. And people like Oscar are volunteering and coming every day. And it's a catastrophe. My name is Jim Kaloran, fullofcenterny.org. And I always ask, just like knowing what ID Shield does, which is protecting your information and securing it, we want everyone to have a disaster plan. In the New York area, do you have a disaster plan where you live? Do you have a plan for your computer when it's all stolen? Do you have a plan for your home when a disaster hits? And so I'm a disaster expert. I didn't want to be, but the floods that happened in 2007 and Irene and then Hurricane Sandy, I've had 20,000 volunteers over the years just working on disasters. And so I want you to have a plan, and that fullofcenterny.org from here down to Louisiana today is working on rebuilding hurricane, tornado homes. No one thinks a disaster will happen. A fire, a tornado, a flood, a disaster in your home. You got to have a plan, and also make sure you have good insurance. Look up whether they're good. Renters insurance if you're renters. I've helped a lot of fire victims. But
yeah, we just had one of our guys, Christian Uski, on talking about making sure you have flood insurance, and his special power is being able to read an insurance policy and say, is this flood insurance good for you?
Right.
So we got Jim here. So like I said, today's show is going to be different. We're remote. We're actually at a job site now. I'm not going to
I know
address. This is what we have to do when there is a flood, or even and Jim can tell you, a flood doesn't have to be just from a hurricane. It could be a broken pipe in your house.
Right. And
Jim, take it away.
You want to have your house. I want you to be resilient, just like ID Shield. That's part of their work, is to help you be resilient in your own life. The same thing where you live. You know, water goes where it may, and we pretend we can beat Mother Nature. You can't. How we have resilient products that you can put in. You can, instead of hot water boiler heaters, put hot water on demand above the water level. We're going to design an accessory dwelling unit that can be added for utility, so people's homes won't have to worry about losing all the utilities during a flood or disaster. So we're big on that. We've also used hurricane straps. We're big on passive homes, energy efficiency, saving you 80% of utilities, and how where you live becomes the most important place for you and your family, or yourself and your place of work now, because a lot of people are working from home. So we've been blessed to have people like Oscar. We've had about 800 volunteers in 24 days.
That's exactly what I wanted. Our show today is about community,
right?
And you know, I've lived in the village here for probably about 10 years. Never seen anything like this before. You kind of know your neighbors, but when a disaster like this strikes, people are coming out of the woodwork to come to help. People from Connecticut are coming down to help us rebuild. And Jim is the spoke that everything runs around. Jim coordinates so much of the efforts of the volunteers from Manhattanville, from Iona, from
Larchmont Temple, from Trinity Life Church, from St. John and Paul, from MasterCard, sending a team out tomorrow, to high school kids. And I want you to be resilient in your own community too. We've had Mamaroneck, I think every high school sports team from the high school has come out. We want our youth to know that they have to be ready for disaster, that the tool of their life can't be a keyboard. And we want kids to learn to build again and to grow food again, because they have to be tough. It's a fragile world. But if you're resilient and you teach your kids to be that way, and your community becomes that way. And the other thing is, we can't beat Mother Nature. You know, if you care about the environment, then do you have bike lanes? Do you have too many parking lots? Where is the water running? Well, you might have to rip up a parking lot and make a river walk there, because you didn't know there was a river or a stream running underneath it. And so these are things we look at. And in 2008, we built award-winning homes above the flood line that this year did not flood, right down the street here on Howard Avenue. So you can find stuff like that, fullofcenterny.org. But, you know, community, and I love the community of America and Larchmont, and I love building community. It's also a worldwide community. I've been to Haiti, El Salvador. I've seen dead bodies on the side of the road during earthquakes, Puerto Rico, and mucho bendiciones todo. You want to helping one another, volunteerism. I get to meet Oscar. I'm very selfish. I love people happy. I'm thinking of the mother, we just fixed her leak, and we've got to get her mold out of her house, and she's got 2 kids, and she can't believe we're there to help her. Or the other 4 kids that got to get into Madison, and the mother, and they're all over the place. When I see people back in, that's my stock option. That's my Bitcoin, if you will. I'm very, very blessed to do this work and to know people like Oscar and also Phil and all your team. This is an important, I can't imagine how important this program is for the future. And I always say a cyber attack will happen. Do we have a plan for that? We are more fragile and defenseless with computers, I think, than anything. And so that's something that I tell all of my volunteers as well. Can you live without a cell phone? Can you live without a computer? And we know it's hard for all of us, but we need to be able to have X, Y, and Z scenarios so that when something does happen, you have a backup plan, you have flashlight, you have a transistor radio, you have the fullest center NY or fullest center in your areas, and great community groups that work together to make it happen. So, and the other thing, you can rebuild communities. The exciting thing is we can rebuild a town different. We can have a different vision. Proverbs says, unless the people have a vision, they will perish. You can't just do the same things over and over and over again and expect that something won't happen again. And it's like, thank you, sir, may I have another? So we have the opportunity to really think different. And the gift of this show also, and the community like Mamaroneck, is small businesses, heart and soul of every community. I love small businesses. I love supporting them. I don't like the big guys. I don't like to buy online. I like to go in and out and see what I'm buying. And we believe that's important for every community, from Main Street to Mamaroneck Avenue and everywhere in between. And my very last thing is, I'm not a big one for high rises. So, I want horizontal, not vertical homes, not high rises. We want our kids to be able to own the American dream. Everybody comes here, from other countries. We all did. So our family could have that intergenerational wealth. And that's being attacked systematically in some ways. And it also increases flooding, overdevelopment. And so I'm a big one for spreading out. We got a huge state in New York. We've got great. And so we got to think different on how and we've done it in this country. That's why people are moving to other parts of the country you never thought they would, and finding that there's great opportunities there to raise a family, to have a small business, to make sure you got ID Shield and you know what has to happen to keep yourself safe. So Oscar, I can't thank him enough, because he's been out here every day. When I see him come, I said, man, here's a guy that gets it. He's helping his own community. He gives a couple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours a day, goes in and out, goes back, does his business. And please support this great business and all he does. His expertise is amazing. So I'm really grateful for you, Oscar. Because
good for you, Jim.
I build off of you. I get enthused because there are towns that people aren't coming. And if they don't bring their volunteers, you got to help yourselves. You can't expect the police, the firefighter, the federal government to drop in all the time, even though they do amazing first responder work. You got to help yourself, and volunteerism is what we're all put in life. Because no big house goes down with you, no Beamer goes with you, none of it goes with you. But we got each other, and we can always rise up from here. And that's the best of what every community is about.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Oscar.
So we're getting back to work, and as Jim says, where are you? Yeah, we love small business here, and we love small business everywhere. Phil, I'm getting back to knocking down some what used to be drywall, which is now rotting wet wall. Do you have any questions for us before we jump off?
You know what? I do. Actually, right. I do. Because you guys are doing some phenomenal work over there. And I'm glad that we were able to actually broadcast this today.
Yeah.
Oscar, you know what? You're doing a great job, man. Isn't he an awesome guy? He's an awesome guy.
Oh man, I feel like I've got like $1 million.
Oh
every
man, now I
time.
got to pay both of you guys to say nice things
No,
about
I
me?
don't have
Oh.
any money. I have no money. You ain't getting any from me. But
He ain't getting none from me either. Just to let you
he's a
know.
spark. All right, well, we'll send him some coffee and a sandwich. That's usually
Oh yeah,
what we do.
that's another thing. You got to see the people in the community that knows volunteer. We get a couple hundred volunteers on the weekend with
They
the
bring
schools.
food for us.
We get sandwiches,
Really?
we get coffee, we get donuts.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and
I've
just,
never eaten so good. So we
That's
actually, one of my
amazing,
guys-
man.
Well, we also are helping Yonkers. You know, this affected about 1,000 homes. People don't realize how
Wow.
big. And so this one got the visible attention, but we're in Portchester today. We've been in Rybrook. We've been in Rye with a mother who had an 8-week-old baby. We're in New Rochelle. I still got to get hit 10 homes there at least in a church. We're in Yonkers. We're in, it's a devastating, you know, and Louisiana got all the attention. But
Right.
really, they say this has been more devastating because A, they're used to it. And
Right.
B,
Mhm.
you know, we weren't the speed of the water on the street we're at went like it was like that. And someone texted me at 8:30, Jim, I'm gonna stay. I said, no, you better get out of there. You don't know. And then he texted me like 2 hours later, and his whole house was devastated underwater. You
Oh my
cannot be-
goodness. Wow.
yeah, you can't be Mother Nature. You can't drive through water and expect to survive. You cannot fool with any of this. And that's why safety, safety, safety. And if you do have a flooded home, you've got to get an electrician in there to make sure that water isn't in your outlets. We went to one home and it started sparking. You know, it's better to be safe than sorry. And that's the important thing of us as we rebuild better and more resilient and greener, build greener.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm a big one on solar. I'm a big one thinking about off the grid, even though you're not supposed to. How do we become more resilient in our own world so that we can be better prepared for the future?
and
I
you gotta
love
see
that. I love how he talks. I love how he talks.
The installation that Jim is able to get is recycled blue jeans.
I get blue jean insulation. It's better than fiberglass gets in your skin. This is
That,
huge.
right. Yeah.
And so I have a radio show today from 3 to 4 that streams live across the country on WBOX.com. And I'm going to have someone from the Carolinas call, and she represents Cotton Inc. And 2007, I started getting to donate. She gave me truckloads made of Madewell and Rag and Bone jeans, which I have no clue. I have no clue who.
Wow.
That's out of my league. I'm a Levi's guy, but we recycle it and it goes into the homes, and and the fiberglass is banned in some countries. So I've given
Right.
hundreds of thousands of dollars of that for free. So because people in areas like this aren't going to get their insurance, the insurance companies are there to say, like your buddy who knows his stuff.
Mm.
Okay, Oscar, I'm going to pay you a $40,000 bonus if you tell everybody on the street who has our policy that they're only going to get 60,000 instead of 250,000.
Wow.
And that happens. And I find that unethical. I attack them like a dog on my radio show. And so, you know, not
I
everybody.
don't doubt it.
Yeah, not everyone is, you're not always in good hands. Not everyone is always on your side, or whatever all the mantras are. But we're experts on that. So today, 3 to 4 on WBOX.com. But this is, Oscar has been telling me about iShield and the legal services. And I just think this is an invaluable service for every person, what you guys do. And I can see this as even gaining more importance in the future. And
Absolutely.
You know, really to be prepared. And that's part of what this show is about. Be prepared with your community and have a plan. And you got to have fun. If you're on our team, we have a lot of fun, right?
Right.
If you're from Yonkers, you got to have fun. And if you're from Worcester, we're out front. You know, my life is good. My 3-piece outfit is shorts, a lime green T-shirt, and a hat that says, this is disaster assistance response. But usually it says NMU, which means no more ugly. No neighborhood should be ugly for any kid in this country. Oh, yeah, they're going to take me away, right? So
They'll bring you back.
I might not be breathing, but that's all right. It is.
I want you to we were talking before this. You telling us about a project that you're working on. Is that something you can reveal right now, or is that
Yeah, well, so in your and maybe another time I'll talk to us, because there was something that I presented that actually the governor and the vice president took my idea that was on the minutes and on that television, and it has been implemented yet. They didn't give me credit, so I'll come out with another time on that.
Mhm.
And we are working on Marquette Row in Yonkers, which is great.
Mhm.
And tiny homes, resilient, energy efficient. That's what I want for America and for people. Everyone's leaving New York because no one can afford to live here.
Right?
There's
Got you.
something drastically unintelligent, un-American, on Democrat, on Republican, on Christian, on Jew, on Muslim, whatever you believe in. There's something stupid about that. And so if we have to leave here because my kids can't afford to own a home here, then the powers that be haven't done it right. And if you own people in rentals instead of letting them own, that's slavery.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. I speak.
Wow.
I speak. I'm going to get killed. So so we have to change that shift in areas like this, and I'm big on that. And it's all about having this neighborhood is an intergenerational neighborhood. The Yiser family has about 4 homes here. I call it Yiserville. And Keith was a big communitarian who just died. And the son called me 2 weeks before to see if we could put a handicapped bathroom. And, the intergenerational neighborhoods is what America is about. And because we've become so transient, and because people can't own, they want to own us with debt and with lack of land ownership. That has to change, and that's the heart of our mission. So, we believe that it has to change. We've got to do it collectively, and if we do that, then we'll have everyone celebrate and have the dream that we all attest to have, and for our kids and for the future. So, on other, be ready for a plan on disaster. I'll be announcing something on that, and then like I said, for your own home. If you go to our website and our Facebook page, Fuller Center for Housing in Greater New York City, you'll see a lot of stuff, and you'll see the blue jean insulation. Passive homes are all everyone says global warming is real as they ride around in their SUV, and then no bike lanes. Everyone says global warming is real, and for 30 years no one's put solar panels on their buildings.
I do.
You got to start those habits now. And the number one thing that uses energy in your house besides a refrigerator is your cable box.
Right.
If you pull your cable box out at night, you save money. So, all the habits that your mother said, turn out your lights. She didn't say pull out your cable box. We didn't have one when we were young. We had 3 channels.
No.
3 channels, some of us, So now there's 300. So, and I didn't get a computer till I was 30. So I'm getting older, but I just want the next generation. That's right. So, and I don't know what a Bitcoin is. If someone can explain what Bitcoin is.
It's a coin that bites you. It's a coin that bites you. So you can be bit by a coin.
I just saw one fly by. Wait a minute. So,
look, you're a billionaire. No, you're broke. No, you're broke again.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's Tuesday. You must be broken. It's a world, but you can appreciate why they're doing it. You can, if you look closely, you can understand why people want to create a currency that no one can track you in.
Right.
And that might be a simplistic feeling to it, but we live on independence and the quality of life, that we all have the freedom to live and to own and to have independent rights. And this is a time that all of those are being challenged. And I think that's important for us, and what you guys are doing. Again, you're part of helping people to be resilient and helping to take back their own life in a lot of ways, be it through legal services.
Absolutely.
Or iShield. Those are things that, just think of the cost people pay for legal services just to keep continuing a case. I think I paid $300,000 for a case when I got in trouble when I was 4 years old. I'm not sure. No, I didn't get in trouble when I was 4 years old. So, but those are things.
That was 5. You were 5.
5. My father was good architect on this. But there are great lawyers, but there's also great access to this network that you guys have created, which I also think is again, bringing it down so everyone can afford it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and making it real. So,
Mhm.
you know, we're all on the same page. I think we all come from egalitarian goals that people should be lifted up and have that opportunity to rise every day of their life through education, a home, a job, green space,
And
resilience.
And this month is education. People need to learn what their options are, what they haven't been taught in school. This is like, you need, you know,
Well,
you go to
that's
school
it.
for this little education, then you learn everything after
By
you leave school.
design, the stuff we've been taught doesn't really help us with our
That's
life.
right. That's right.
So you say,
Here, you know what? It's funny that, you know, if you teach somebody how to think for themselves, you can no longer make them a slave to anything else.
That scares the status quo. That scares the upper echelons of
there's a CEO in my building who's brilliant, grew up in the projects. He says, I teach my kids to think. If you have the power to control your thoughts and you're not just follow the leader. Yep. I mean, just think what we haven't thought about yet to change the world, to make it better. That's what I want for the next generation. That's what I want for you guys.
Every problem has a solution, but we don't know what the solution is yet. But you present the problem like, all right, what's the solution?
Right. A lot of times you just point fingers and no solutions are ever thought of, you know. And that way you get your paycheck and you say, oh, you're Oscar, you're Jim, you're who you are. And then you fight and then you still get your paycheck.
See, but here's what I love about what you guys are doing though. You are building up your community without anybody asking you to do so, you know, which means that you know, there's something about taking initiative that just says a lot about a person.
You want to laugh? Jim took over a parking lot. Did you get permission? Are you just like, I'm putting the van here, I'm putting the cargo bay here. 17 spots are gone.
They say, who gives you permission? I say, God. I went in the river Saturday and they said, who gave you permission? I said, God. Dark. I want to change every neighborhood in this country. No neighborhood should be ugly for any kid. I call that NMU.
The NMU.
So we go in with thousands of volunteers and change. They say, you know, just change it. Whose responsibility is it? I don't care who you say.
Ours. It's ours.
We're going to do it. I can't stand my kids living like this. Your kids. We're going to change it. If the river is filled with crap, I'm going in the next day. And he said, how did you do it? Someone said, with the machine? No. I said, yeah, these are my chicken legs. I
got you.
We got it. We've gotten too much of pointing fingers on everyone.
Everyone's waiting for someone else to do something.
But see, that's where, and it goes to the heart of, if you can think, resiliency, and also being able to own your own life, not being owned and saying it's someone else's responsibility. Community is our responsibility.
Yes.
If we weren't here, imagine what people would be going through right now, Oscar. And I don't say it for accolades, but truly, if we were not here,
I know you said.
Where's the help going to come from?
7 days a week we've been here. Over $500,000 of supplies, free insulation, expertise, seeing Oscar going and bringing hope every time he goes in a house, seeing us like yellow canaries walking down the street with tools in our hand, saying, NMU, let's go hit this house. Let's get this family in. We're going to start a tiger crew at night from 3 to 8. I want these families in. I'm not in I want them in. I'm thinking of that mother. Look, I don't have enough time to rest. These opportunities don't come often, but you got to hit it hard, like that intensity you put into sports. We got to take that, and that's another sports is a whole other lengthy discussion. We got to take that energy and make our communities. And I want to hit every community. I want to win for every community. And with your help and with your
love that.
We can't. No, we got it, man. We can, and you have fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know that. You know it. I love Yonkers. I love Westchester. I love South Central. I love Mamaroneck. I love Haiti. I've been all over doing this, just running around saying, let's help our neighbor and let's kick it hard. So thank you, because you guys are going to save people with legal and computer and all that. We appreciate people looking at our website, fullercenterny.org. If you want to listen from 3 to 4. I'll have Oscar on and a couple of guests today on WVOX.com. I'll have you
Oh,
call
nice.
in. I want you call in too one day, Phil.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, I love it.
we gotta teach people about this great service that you guys are doing. So we're worthy of donation support. If you come by Mamaroneck on Jefferson Avenue, you'll see a bunch of people there. We've gotten thousands of contracted bags, bleach, gloves, just like I did in Hurricane Sandy. People would hold on to me and say, "You're not leaving, are you?" So don't worry, we're not.
Not leaving
We're
till
not
it's
leaving
done.
until it's done, and then we
Wow.
and then we move on. But you know, how good is that for me? How good
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys. I mean, I shouldn't even be. You know, no one should be watching me.
Absolutely. Well, no. You know what though? That's how you lead, man. You're leading by example, and that's how you lead. That's how you lead. So
I don't need any press conference.
yeah.
Every
you
day
know,
is our.
Oh yeah, you gotta see the politicians come down and with the whole press crew like, yeah, we're doing, like, no, you're not doing it. Grab a hammer, come help, knock down some walls. That's how we're helping. Like, you're not doing anything except here, look, photo op.
Labor Day last year, I helped 30 families burned out in the fire in Portchester, and I knew that no one would be around. And usually it's those times that aren't 8 to 4 and weekends that nobody's around when people need it the most. And I hit the ground running, and we were there every day setting up. I don't care whether we get coverage or not. It usually comes. If you do what's right, it comes. But, like I said, you cry with people, you think about what they got to do, or the mother who's had a leak and she's got cancer and she doesn't want to cut the mold out of her. These are real lives.
This is real issue. These are real issues.
This is real saving of lives here. And like I said, it's a sacred responsibility, whatever you believe in. When someone shares your life with you, I mean, what an honor for us to be in this house.
I mean, the people let me in and said, all right, we're leaving. We got to go. Here's the house. You got the house to yourself. Do what you got to do.
Because they know the Fuller Center teams are real. We're honest. We're here to help. They've come for food. They came for bags. They come to our table. The table is like the table of hope, the table of help. And that's just every day, if we can be there and give information, give supplies. And then when it's time to come hit, oh, my son can't do the whole house. Will you come over? So this is what community is about. And we've and this is with the utmost respect to computers and you can sit for 8 hours a day. I could, and never go outside my door and be on a worldwide community, but never know my neighbor. And that's not going to save you when the street has a disaster. That's not going to save you when there's a fire. That's not going to save you when the police and the fire truck can't get to your neighborhood because there's a 2 trees blocking everything down. It's going to take them 45 minutes before they can get there. So these are resiliencies, and this is a neighborhood model, part of what I'll go into another time, that I want to create for across the country, and create disaster captains so people always are ready. And like if we're in Israel, they train everybody for disaster all the time because they're always getting bombed. So I don't want to get bombed. I don't want to live. We're not living in fear, but just to have a plan of what could happen. And just so you're not dealing with kids who expect the computer is going to save them if they hit a button, because that's what we've created.
Well, you know what though? I want to talk about that because preparation to me doesn't mean that you're living in fear. And I want to say that also, everybody has their role. People coming out with the cameras and stuff is bringing attention to what you're doing.
Oh no,
So you need those people. You need those people to do that.
And we need politicians. We need everybody.
Yeah, we need everybody. Everybody plays their role. Like
someone said to me yesterday, aren't you scared? For me, like, I know what I can do. Everybody does. And so this is like the back of my hand to me, to go in the middle of water and pull someone out of a pickup truck. I don't want everybody to do that.
Right.
Also, the Bible says, do not fear 365 times. We can't live it. We got to live our lives. And that essence of that joy and that success and your talent that leads you to do what you guys do so greatly is what everyone has within themselves, just waiting to come out. And that's what I know this great high school called Saunders, taught people trades. And shout out to Saunders. And I want everyone to have a trade, whether you're GED or PhD. Everybody needs to use these and just get tough. And we got to bring it back. We've cut out whole industries that people could be CEOs and making things in Yonkers and Mamaroneck by saying, "Oh, we're the emperor," but we have no clothes really, and we can't even make them. So we gotta bring all that stuff back. And you know what? Kids are dying when they get a hammer in their hand again. These kids never, or they take a crowbar, or they're using a sawzall. They can't believe how good it is. You know, and I'm telling you, and they'll always have a job. You know, the COO of Goldman for 9 years, he for 4 years he sheetrocked during college. You know, learning a trade is just so healthy for people. And then growing food. That's the other thing. Everyone should learn to grow food again instead of creating long food lines. I don't want Bill Gates to own us with his farms. Nothing against Bill. But I hope you got funding this show. But you know, we got to grow food again. Resiliency. So when I'm in a neighborhood, I'm always looking how I can create an urban or community garden in Yonkers.
Right. You know, but you know what? Listen, you got to admire the guys. I tell Oscar this all the time. I admire the guys that have had to work from the ground up. You know, the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates and all these guys. Some of these guys started in their garage. They're as broke as they know what it is. Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, I think Bill
Gates they know what it is to eat ramen noodles and
again, being resilient and community. When you guys are talking about growing food, when I moved to my house, I started growing squash in the front yard. And someone says, "What if someone takes it?" I'm like, that's why it's in the front yard. If you need a squash, it's there.
Right.
Come take it. It's
not free.
Yeah. I'm not gonna call 911 if you take my squash.
And again, it's like
my squash. We'll be right over.
It's like, well, what if they steal your squash? And it's not my squash. God made the squash. So all I did was put seeds in the ground. I walked away. I did really nothing.
the things that we haven't even, here's the good thing, things that we haven't even dreamed about. Or let our minds think about. You know, we're all Elon Musk, either one better. We can all do the Teslas, whatever that is.
That's it.
And if you allow yourself to think out of the box and have a vision, we're all put on earth for that. And that's what
absolutely.
This is my vision of rebuilding towns, rebuilding a better America, rebuilding with ownership and green opportunities and jobs, and having every kid have a shot. Like you and I and every one of you viewers.
Absolutely.
So you make it happen, guys.
Tell folks how to reach you if they wanted to kind of find out more. Tell everybody how to reach you and everything.
FullerCenterNY.org. Directly 914-406-3357. 914-406-3357. Jim Killoran, Killoran on Facebook, and then We just want to make it real. We appreciate donations. We appreciate donations of sweat equity like Oscar's been doing, and donations of airtime so we can get the word out. Everyone has that role. FullerCenterNY.org. We're building what I call DART, Disaster Assistance Response Team. And we're building it so we can hit the ground running, and that we're going to do it not just in this area, but with team captains all over a broader area so that we can build a better community and make a better world. And that's what we do. So Millard Fuller was a visionary. Millionaire by the time he was 30. He and his wife gave it all up. He's got a sidewalk in Washington, D.C. with his wife. I've been with him with 5 presidents. He said, "Jim, I gave it all up." You know, you could say that's crazy, but that was what God gave on. He gave it up, went to Southwest Georgia to a Black-white Christian community, went to Africa, built in 170 countries, created habitat. When he turned 70, they asked him to leave. And he said, "Jim, I'll never stop building houses." You know, he used to say, "Can you see me sitting on a cruise boat, Jim?" Never. I could never sit on a cruise boat. I said, "Bill, never." Because, this is my cruise. This is, this is what my life has so much meaning for, because I get to meet you guys and I get to be just helping. And that's so it's unacceptable that anybody should go to bed at night in substandard homes in this country or any country. And that's the heart of our mission. When there's a disaster, yeah, no, that's it. A roof over, he made it unconscionable. President Carter, I've been a nice guy, but he got all the credit for what Millard and Linda did. And he brought it, he elevated the notoriety of it. But, God celebrates all diversity, all colors, all ethnicities. I don't know why I wasn't born Muslim in Iraq, why I wasn't born African-American in South Georgia, why I was born Irish Catholic in Massachusetts. I don't know any of those answers, but I'm just Jim now, right? I'm just Jim. And my life is so good. And we call it the theology of the hammer. But if everyone who believed in God Friday, Saturday, and Sunday volunteered once a month, everybody has a home. And we got, right? Calling it out.
Right.
I'm calling it out. That's it. I'm not about big cars and big mansions. And, I'm about people that sitting in the pews should be able to own, not be owned too. So there's a lot of things that I'm well hated for by speaking up. But
you know what I found out? You know those extra 20 pounds of COVID? This helps get it away.
That's right.
This melts it away 1 pound at a time.
There was only one time I heard him yell out Phil when he hit the only once.
Oh,
that was a tough wall. Didn't want to come down.
He yells my name out quite a bit, but why did I ever say yes to this guy? Why? So.
I thank you for that. I appreciate you sharing that. Next time I see him, I'm gonna bring one with me.
Oh, come on over.
So I can say Oscar.
You get a lot.
Listen, whatever it takes, it doesn't matter.
It beats an hour of counseling for $300. But the other thing is, right, when you think of it, construction workers, no one stopped the construction industry a day during this whole pandemic thing. Never heard of people dropping like flies from the 10th floor in the construction industry.
No.
So, maybe there's something
into building, right?
There's a vaccine in the mix of this love in the mortar joints. We call it. So, what do I know? I better go now because we got too much. We got more houses to build. But Phil,
absolutely.
I look forward to having you on. I love to talk
absolutely
about Saunders and meeting you. And
thank you.
The big O is he's the Oscar Robertson of our. I don't think Phil knows who that is.
Oh, he knows.
I know Robertson, of course. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And then
I appreciate you guys. I shave it all off. That's true. I appreciate you guys coming on and talking. Hold on, we'll talk after the end of the program. But thank you guys so much, and thank you everyone for watching. Support what's going on in Mamaroneck right now, and if you live nearby and you have some time to volunteer, take the time and meet with these guys. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Take a sandwich or leave a sandwich. Doesn't matter. We're here.
Thank you all.
All right.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.